Welcome back to Tutorial Tidbits. I'm Elizabeth St. Hilaire, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about a process that I'm going to be using in my upcoming new online workshop, Fashion Plate Portraits. In this workshop, I'm going to use a lot of black charcoal line work where we're going to draw the faces and the hands and the facial features with a black charcoal, and then we're going to fix it so that it doesn't smear, and then we're going to paint and glue collage and embellish over the top of it. So I'm going to show you how to set black charcoal or black pastel so that it doesn't smear, so that you can continue to work forward with it. And this technique can also be used for any other art material that may smear or smudge. So it's not just for black pastel, but that will be the style or the look of my Fashion Plate Portrait online workshop that will be coming in early 2020. So this will be a little bit of a sneak peek into one of the techniques. So let's go check it out. For my next online class, I'm going to be doing fashion plate portraits, which is really going to involve a lot of black soft pastel or black charcoal line work, and I am going to give you a sneak peek of that right now. So I've got these great Jackson black soft pastels. Other brands make them. I do like the pastels more than the charcoal because it's actually more black, and I like the way they come in square sticks. So you can turn them on their corner and get pretty sharp lines if you keep rotating the square stick. And then when you wear off the corners, you can snap it in half and have new fresh corners. So as always, all of these materials can be found on my Amazon shopping list. I've got some old sheet music, and I'm just going to draw some lines with this black on here because when I teach my online class, we are going to be working on an ephemera background. So this is sort of the look that you're going to get. And I just draw the lines with the black pastel, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to smudge to add some shading in a few areas. So if this were a portrait, I'd be smudging around the eyelids and under the bottom lip, under the chin. So here's how I'm adding my shading with those black pastels. I can get really dark in some areas. If I overdo it and I want to come back and bring in the light, this is a very dirty, but it's a pink pearl eraser, and I found this erases the best. So if you want to sort of define your shading, you erase with that. And then there may be some lines that you want to put back in, reinforce, or maybe get some really dark pastel areas. So once you get that all established, what you're going to do is you're going to use an acrylic gloss spray varnish, and you're going to gently spray that to set it. And it's probably going to take 2 coats. So you want to shake this up really well. And you want to take it in a well-ventilated area. So I'm going to step outside, spray it, and then bring it back to show you. But basically, basically, you're going to do even, thin spray coats, no dripping, no puddling, no pooling. So you're going to spray back and forth evenly, light coat, let it dry, and then apply again. And it dries pretty quickly, especially if you take it outside. There, I've got my first light coat, and I have a fan in my studio that I love for speeding the drying time of things like this. It's a collapsible foldable desk fan, so I'm going to put that on. It's also going to help get some of the fumes out of here. But that is also on my Amazon shopping list, and I think that it is my favorite tool for my studio because it speeds the drying time of varnish, of gessoing boards, of paint, of all kinds of things. And not to mention it clears some of these fumes out. So we're speeding the drying time of this with the fan. That's looking pretty good, pretty dry. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to give it a second coat, especially in those very dark areas. But I don't want to just concentrate on those very dark areas. I want to give it an even coat across the whole paper. So I'm going to give it another coat with my Grumbacher gloss varnish. So here I've got a second coat, and turn the fan on it again. I could put it in time-lapse video as well, or edit it out, but I figure if I have to wait, you should have to wait along with me. So that's drying a little bit. Now the best test is, it's pretty much dry. So your best test is to use a clean finger somewhere. If you have a clean finger, it's usually my baby finger. And then I'm gonna lightly rub the areas to see if anything's transferring. And you see, I'm not getting any black on my finger. I'm not getting any black on my finger, even in that pretty heavy dark area. So this is the test. So that pretty heavy black area is transferred just a little bit to my finger. So I could do a third coat. But for the most part, everywhere else is not transferring. So you can see now I've sealed that so that it's not going to move. And what I typically do at this point to really seal it at this point, then now I'll take brush varnish and really give it a nice heavy coat of gloss UVLS golden brush varnish. And that will really seal it so that I can even draw with the, keeping my hand on top of it and drawing over here, and it's not going to move. So I set it with the spray varnish so that it is not going to move to the touch. And then I'm going to take a brush and brush over a coat of golden UVLS gloss varnish on it. And typically this would be on my wooden board substrate that I'm working on. So at that point I will do the brush varnish, and then I'll just come back and start working on top of that, because acrylic sticks to acrylic. So you can work on top of varnish, and then you can paint on top of varnish, and then you can varnish it again and over and over and over. So happy Friday, and thank you for being here.